Welcome to Inspire Mana Awards 2020-21. Student information. This is Y Jyotishri Anish studying class 8 Sri Prakash Vidyaniketan Paikropata. Problem. Increasing of carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere. Solution. By increasing the growth of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton is good resource of CO2 sinkers which is available in ocean in large scale. What is phytoplankton? Phytoplankton is one kind of bacteria which exists in the form of algae present on the surface of water. They participate in photosynthesis as plants. They absorb CO2 present in the atmosphere and produce oxygen. Freshwater planktons. Marine planktons. How to grow phytoplankton? Fertilization of ocean by iron is one of the best artificial methods to grow phytoplankton where it is required. What is fertilization of ocean by iron? Fertilization is an artificial way to increase phytoplankton population. The iron is an important nutrient for the growth of phytoplankton. In ocean, we can do fertilization through ships, flights, and planes. The iron is distributed into the ocean where the plankton is less. Phytoplankton absorb iron and other nutrients which are available in water and increase its population. When more phytoplanktons are there, bigger algal bloom will be created and more CO2 is absorbed and more oxygen is released. Then the biodiversity near to the algal bloom will get sufficient oxygen to live. Methods to spread iron dust in required places to increase phytoplankton growth. First one, ship-based deployment. In this process, iron sulfate was directly added into the oceans with the help of ships. Second one, atmospheric sourcing. Iron-rich dust in the atmosphere reaches the ocean with the help of natural winds. Third one, artificial atmospheric sourcing of iron dust. In this method, iron was carried by flights onto the surface of water body where phytoplankton was less and release it into the atmosphere. Advantages. Fertilization of ocean increases plankton production. Plankton releases nearly 50 to 80% of oxygen onto the earth. Sea animals breathe oxygen released from plankton. So plankton is very useful to both earth and ocean. So fertilization of ocean has so many uses. Disadvantages. Plankton absorb carbon, but they also absorb oxygen too. If plankton is in limit, there will be no problem. If so many planktons are there in one place, in that place, most oxygen will be absorbed by them. Then sea animals won't get sufficient oxygen and they may die. So that more plankton should not be in one place. So plankton should be in particular limit per each area. Then there will be no problem. Efficiency of iron atom. Algal cell chemical composition is assumed to be in ratio of 106 carbon atoms is to 60 nitrogen atoms is to 1 phosphorus atom is to 0.00001 iron atom. Each atom of iron captures 1,060,000 carbon atoms. Collecting the samples. Observing collected sample with microscope. Experiment with seawater. I have collected some seawater from nearby Pentecota beach of Visakhapatnam district. I observed the phytoplankton in that water and I found very less concentration of phytoplankton. Then I placed that water in an aquarium and added iron dust in it. After 15 days, I observed the same water under the microscope and I found that there is an enormous increase in phytoplankton growth. We can use the same method to increase phytoplankton in the ocean where it is less quantity. Subantarctic Southern Ocean Project to observe growth of phytoplankton under different nutrients. Abstract. Subantarctic southern ocean surface waters in the austral summer and autumn are characterized by high concentrations of nitrate and phosphate, but low concentrations of dissolved iron and silicic acid. Iron added with silicic acid clearly increased community growth rate, and nitrate drawdown the algal community. Small diatoms grew when iron is added without silicic acid. Iron plus silicic acid showed large increase in phytoplankton. The results suggested that iron is the proximate limited nutrient for chlorophyll production. Photosynthetic efficiency and silicic acid also exerts considerable control over algal growth. Both all the nutrients together are needed to have maximum growth response, and iron and silicic acid play important role in that. Phytoplankton in freshwater. There will be phytoplankton in freshwater also. They can be distinguished in mainly three types. Number 1, lake phytoplankton. They are called as limnoplankton. Number 2, helioplankton. These planktons will be there in ponds. Number 3, potamoplankton. This will be there in rivers. Phytoplankton live at the top of the water column as far down as the sunlight can penetrate. The waste product of photosynthesis is oxygen. Phytoplankton can both found in seawater and freshwater. We can tell whether a water body has phytoplankton or not by seeing its clarity. If it is clear water, then less phytoplankton exists in it. If it is brown or green color, more phytoplankton exists in it. There are about 5,000 marine phytoplankton species on the earth. Natural impact. Thus, it is difficult to fertilize the ocean continuously and have good research. Once near southern ocean, a large boom was formed. It removed so many tons of carbon from atmosphere. It shown so much impact and fertilization of ocean experiments result. Thus, nature can remove carbon dioxide from atmosphere and create more phytoplanktons and create big impact in atmosphere CO2 than fertilization of ocean impact. Ocean is the biggest carbon sink. It takes carbon and gives oxygen because of phytoplankton. So many phytoplanktons were created naturally because of nature. Suggesting model for fertilization of ocean by iron. This is Vayan is studying 8th class in Pycropatus Reprakash Vidyaniketan School. Problems: increasing of CO2 levels in atmosphere. Solution: increasing of phytoplankton growth, which absorbs the CO2 and a very good CO2 sinker. What is phytoplankton? Phytoplankton is a bacteria which exists in the form of algae or also called as algal blooms. These blooms will absorb the CO2 and release oxygen. Methods to spread the iron sulfate into the oceans. Artificial atmospheric sourcing is artificial way to spread the iron sulfate into the oceans. In this method, the iron is carried by flights or jets, and those jets will release the iron into the atmosphere. And from the atmosphere, the ocean will release that iron and other nutrients. Advantages: fertilization of ocean will increase the population of phytoplankton. Phytoplankton releases nearly 50 to 80% of the oxygen on the earth. So fertilization of ocean have so many uses. My experiment I conducted. I have went to Pentecota beach and I have collected some water samples. I have placed those water samples. I have examined those water samples and I have found phytoplankton in very low concentration. I have placed those water samples in an aquarium and I have added iron dust. After 15 days when I examined, I have found that in those water samples phytoplankton have been enormously grown. This method can also be used in huge and big oceans to increase the population of phytoplankton. Thank you. Thank you.